Welcome back to the Hermitcraft FTB server. Well, today is a day that has been coming for a long time. The fusion reactor has been assembled. All the components are in place, and it's ready. The power is available in these solar panels to charge it with, to give it the power it needs to ignite. Solar panels and these 16 MFSUs. It looks like all of them are fully charged. So, power from the MFSUs, I've tapped it off here and sent a line over here. This line goes right down to the fusion reactor. So let's have to get down there and have a look. Head down here, and there she is. The reactor's done. I've built this iCraft multi-tank over there to hold plasma. I will later on see about a deep storage unit, well, the quantum tank, so on. Basically, this thing is pretty much ready to go. We've got liquid tesseracts here to provide fuel. The deuterium and the hydrogen-3, the helium-3. We've got liquid tesseracts here hooked up to the quantum tanks. There's 113,000 deuterium here, and there is 24,000 helium-3. Perhaps that could be better, I don't know, but there's plenty of it. Channels have been set up on the tesseracts. Now we've got liquid tesseracts here that are currently not enabled because there's no point, there's no plasma to feed into them yet. But in the future, they will lead it. These liquid tesseracts and these plasma generators will be the means by which this reactor is started in the future. This time, it will be started by charging it from this high voltage line that comes down from that bank of 16 MFSUs. So, let's connect this wire and hope it doesn't explode. We're still here, so it didn't explode. Now, let's have a look up here. We have movement on this little progress bar. The reactor's energy injectors are charging. They don't have an interface of their own, but this little progress bar down here on the control computer tells all we need to know. This thing is charging. So, let's enable the fuel. Alright, this is deuterium, and we have send only on channel 6, and we have helium-3 on channel 7, also send only. Okay. I want to check the control computer one more time. It has this little feature here, NEI. Click here and it shows you the recipes. And it's showing helium-3 on top and deuterium on the bottom. I don't know if that actually matters, but that's how I'm going to do it. So, up here, private, receive, helium-3, enable. Now down here, private, receive, deuterium, enable. The reactor now has fuel flowing into the material injectors. As a matter of fact, they're now full. The progress bar continues to move to the right, and presumably, when it gets far enough to indicate that there is 60,000 EU available in total, and the combined total of all these energy injectors, 10,000 each, or 10 million each, excuse me. It's 60 million needed for ignition. And when that gets to that point, oh, no wonder I couldn't get anywhere. There. When it gets to, when it gets to the point where each energy injector has 10 million EU available, now that the fuel has been turned on, the reactor will start up. And it will start reacting. Okay, we're starting to... I wish there was a number here to indicate percentage, or the number of EU, or something. Okay, material extractor. This will be... plasmified helium will be extracted from this. And this is plasma, set to send plasma to the tank. So, helium comes out, the plasma comes out, it goes through here, and it ends up flowing into that tank. In the bottom of the tank is another one of those liquid tesseracts, and it is sending plasma from tank. And once there is plasma in the tank, we'll enable from, just so that these guys will be available to start the thing back up again. And the progress bar continues. This is going to be a slow charge, I'm sure. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of trade off between monitoring the progress here and checking on the state of the MFSUs upstairs, which I'm going to do right now. Besides which it's night. Well, wait a minute. No, other folks on can't just make the night go away. Not a problem. Okay, MFSUs are draining, but there is still easily, between these 16 MFSUs, there is easily more than enough power available to start that reactor. Okay, the solar panels, their inbuilt storage has already been drained, but that's alright. We've got power by the bucket load funneling downstairs into the fusion reactor, and it's charging and getting ready to come online. Looks to, if it has to go all the way across, I'd say this is a little less than 25%. So I'm going to monitor progress, and I will check in later when we are close to ignition. Okay, I think we're getting close here. This thing, it got to about here and then it blinked and jumped up a little bit. I don't know if that's just a glitch or what, but it continues to soak up power and get closer to the point of ignition. And so I will continue monitoring. Alright, this may be a disappointing turn of events. The progress indicator had gotten to about here, and then it blinked one more time and it disappeared completely. Wait a minute. We have plasma coming out. There is 3 buckets of helium plasma in the tank. This reactor is running. It is running very nicely. Wonder how fast it's using the fuel. And that's not the way to find out. This is. Not too hideously fast. I'm not certain, but I believe I'm at a point where I can actually make the stuff faster than that. Yeah, these things are lit up, and material injectors are lit up. This is lit up. This baby is running. All right. Now, see what we can do with some of this power, or potential for power. Actually, it's not power yet, but I did get a little something prepared for getting ready to generate power with this. I built an AESU. Now, when I built it, the AE system was not cooperating at all, so I had to do this entirely manually. So I'm going to just drop an AESU, say, right down here. I don't have any other particular reason for doing it. Alright. This, I'm assuming, is the high voltage output. And of course you've got slots in there to charge, and you can set what your minimum maximum EU is, and so on. It is adjustable. Now I am going to, let's see, let me get the wrench. I didn't think when I put that down, so I'm going to pick it up and move it. Or maybe just, yeah, let's pick it up and move it. Alright, now we got some room here. Alright. No, that's not good either. Maybe it can be. Wrong wrench. Alright, we'll have the output over here. And over here, let's have let's elevate these a little bit. Okay. Get the wrench and run their outputs all that way. And now let's get some cable. And they're all connected up. And their output will head right into this thing. And we'll go ahead and set its output to the maximum. No, that would be too much. Let's just let it output at 512 for the moment. And actually, the biggest thing it's going to do is charge. Now, we need another liquid tesseract. And for that, you mean to tell me this thing doesn't know how to make unattuned frames? Of course not. I made a whole bunch of them. Alright, not a problem. Let's go get some unattuned frames made. I think I have the setup up here. No. It's up top side. Over here. Here we are. No, that's not it. That's not unattuned frames. Alright, hardened glass, tin, and diamond. And hardened glass, I'm going to need more of that. Well, it'd sure be nice if I learned to hold on to things, wouldn't it? Alright, let's put pull all of that out. Turn these guys on to power it. Now I'll put in just enough redstone to make one of these so that I can clear them out of the system. Not sure how much it takes per. Okay, that's enough. The redstone is out of it. That's what I wanted. And now let's just load up some ender pearls in here. And put our empty frames in here. Alright, I'll be back when I actually have the tesseract I need. Alright, here we are. I have the tesseract. Okay, let's run this up just a little bit. Alright, now we need liquid duct. That wasn't quite what I had in mind. But it should do something. What do we got in the tank? 131 buckets of helium plasma. How is our fuel supply? I say we have no concerns about running out anytime immediately soon. And our AESU currently has a 0 charge. Well, let's do something about that. Alright, private and plasma from tank, enable. Whoa, it toasted the power lead. I should have expected that. Alright. What we need is this 4X insulated HV cable. And I don't have a crafting table down here, so I have to run up here. Okay, that's insulated. Now we have 11 pieces of that. That ought to be enough. We're not actually taking this very far. I should have thought of that and didn't. The unit is now charging at a pretty good, respectable rate. All right, we now have usable power from the reactor. And with this AESU being able to hold 100 million EU, that is actually going to take a little while to charge. Not bad. And now, let's see. And it's going through the helium plasma fairly quickly. Alright, not a problem. Not a problem. And that's progressing upwards again, presumably recharging the, there's the energy injectors are still connected to the power supply outside. So it's probably recharging them, which is good, because that way if for any reason the reactor gets shut down, it will have power to restart. But as long as the fuel supply is good, I see no reason to shut it down. Alright. I'm going to monitor things here for a bit, and I will check in after a while. Well, this AESU is almost completely charged. Well, 75% just about. And it occurred to me that these things, you take a look at this, the power on this line, pretty much 8K EU per tick. That is easily easily enough power to run a matter fabricator entirely on that line. I don't know, honestly. Okay, these things are putting out 2045 EU per tick each. But the helium plasma says it can produce 8192 EU per tick, or 8192K EU per tick. Basically, if I'm reading that right, each one of these plasma generators could produce enough power to run a matter fabricator. So it occurs to me, since the AE system is once again in a mood to craft, let's build another matter fabricator. Boom, there it is. Alright, while we're at it, let's get some more cable. And an import bus. Where's my export bus? There we are. Export bus. And a scrap box. Alright. That sucker's just about charged. Let's see, we've got some of this HV cable here. So I'm going to set the matter fabricator down here. Drop an export bus on the top. And import bus on the side. The export bus will provide scrap boxes. And now, where is the nearest ME line? As you can see, I'm having a little bit of lag issue. But that will not deter. It may frustrate, but it won't stop me. Oh, for crying out loud. So I'll just run this line over here. Hello. I guess I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I don't know what that was all about, but we're back. It occurs to me I'd rather run this under the floor. All the way to the wall, in fact. Just simply because it's a cleaner way to do it. Alright, now fill in the floor. Okay, the matter fabricator is filling with scrap. That's good. Okay, this thing is full. Let's take another piece of this high voltage cable and go like this. Matter fabricator is now matter fabricating. Alright. And I'm going to be curious and tempted real soon to find out just how many of these I can run off of this setup at one time. But we'll get there. Now is our plasma supply. 182 buckets and climbing, or fluctuating, but with a general trend to climbing. This seems to have this progress bar going out so far and collapsing every now and then, but as long as it's putting out power, we don't care. Alright, speaking of power, let's turn these on. Plasma from tank. Receive. Go. These will fill up to 10 buckets each and be there to generate power to recharge those. So we'll go ahead and this one, plasma from tank. Excellent. Excellent. And this thing is doing very nicely. I just doubled my UU matter production, which is a good thing because I used a considerable amount of it in this project. Almost all of it, in fact. So, what's next, you ask? Who knows? The sky is the limit. I will naturally be wanting to tweak this setup and add to it and make as much use of all this power as I can between now and the reset. But for all intents and purposes, the big goal that I had set myself has been accomplished. There is a functioning fusion reactor. Not an easy project. It has I've been working on this for almost all of the last 3 months. Getting all the stuff I've been doing with the bees and quarries and the tree farms and everything. Every bit of it has been a step towards one step after another down the road to get to this spot right here where this working fusion reactor is. It's all been about building all the necessary infrastructure and systems to provide fuel and systems to provide this and that and the other. It's all been about this right here for the last 3 months. And finally, we see the fruits of all this labor, and it is good. It is quite delicious. Definitely appetizing as all get out. So, We have the reactor functioning. We have plasma in these generators here to... Now, if the thing were to shut down, these generators would be able to start this up without the use of the external power line, which I will probably take down just because it looks better without it. Alright, I will be back in just a few moments. Alright, everything's going just great here. This thing is running. The reaction appears to be self-sustaining as long as there's sufficient amount of fuel. We have plenty of helium plasma. And over here, let's see, 113,000 buckets of the deuterium and the helium-3. We have 23,910 buckets of that. And the production of helium-3 has resumed, because it turns out that I had forgotten that while I was trying to diagnose the AE system yesterday and earlier today, I had shut down the helium-3 production, the machines that were processing the endstone dust, and I just got them started back up again. So that should take care of that, because I do believe they are producing enough to actually produce more than the machine is going to need. It's producing it just a little faster than it needs it. And now, just as a little parting shot, I'm going to build another matter fabricator. I love how quick that is, now that it's working correctly again. I'm going to drop it right down here. Get some more AE cable. You see, that's how fast it's supposed to craft things. Bingo, 64 ME cables. Alright, now we need an import bus. We need an export bus. I think that's about it. Oh, well, we could use a scrap box. Oh, I've got one. Alrighty. That's it then. Let's pop the import bus right there. Export bus right here. Export bus is rigged for scrap boxes by the stack, always active. Connect that up. Connect that up. The machine is loaded. Let's hook up the power line. It's lit up and running. There are now 3 matter fabricators operating in here. And I'm going to do something else too. I'm going to disconnect this external power line. The way I see it, it is no longer necessary. And I will probably take it down later on, but for right now, just disconnecting it is enough. AESU is full. Of course, nothing's draining it. We may change that. But we've got something really cool here. A fully operational GregTech fusion reactor. Let's get the EU reader here. What's coming down the main line before it splits? 8156 EU per tick. That one's got 4078. That one's got 47. Okay, so it's splitting the power. If I wanted them to both have 8192, I'd have to put up 4 more plasma gens, which I might do later on. In any event, success. Finally, at long last, a fully operational GregTech fusion reactor. And I think the next thing I'm going to do is, off camera, I'm going to go ahead and make up another quantum tank now that the AE system's working again. And I'm going to rig it up to that tank so that when it's full, the excess goes into the quantum tank to prevent problems of not having a place to put the stuff because the tank is full in any event. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here. Something cool next episode.